Hey, this is Kristen.
And this is Aaron. And this is Drive Mode Show. Today we're going to talk about
Woohoo!
off-road
Aaron,
stuff.
let's talk about big trucks.
Big trucks.
Big trucks, specifically the Ram 2500 Power Wagon or the Power Wagon package.
Yep.
Power Wagon. Did I say wagon? Power Wagon package.
Power Wagon. See, it helps if you do the William Shatner. Power Wagon.
Perfect. Okay, so I have a Power Wagon in my driveway in Hydro Blue Pearl right now. It's beautiful.
It's a good color.
Yeah, it's a great color. My son and I, my 10-year-old and I, made a bet before we picked it up, and I said, I think it's going to be red. He said, I think it's going to be blue. So he wins that one.
Those are basically the two default colors for Power Wagon. Black fingernails not included. Those are basically the two real colors for that truck. You don't really see it in other colors very often. When you do, it's something lame like white. So they do have a black one, and the red Power Wagon badging looks really cool on that.
Yeah, it does look really cool. The badging for this truck is distinctive, and I like it. It looks like a muscle truck.
So when I drove the Power Wagon last, it wasn't a Power Wagon. It was a Ram 2500 Tradesman with a Power Wagon package added. So like a $7,500 option.
Oh.
And it's basically a poor
Okay.
man's Power Wagon because you're buying it for under $50,000 at that point. And so it
Yeah.
has all the same gear, but it doesn't have the same interior. It doesn't have the badging, but it has all the same off-road gear on it. And I love that thing. Holy crap, did I have fun in that thing.
So that's a truck for somebody who wants all the off-road capability but doesn't need all the creature comforts inside.
And doesn't need to advertise to the world that they're driving a Power Wagon. You know, it's the same engine, the same big beefy V8. It's the same exhaust package. It's the same drivetrain. It's got the same four-wheel drive system. It's got the same shocks, the same larger wheels and tires, the same lift. All that stuff is added. So it's a wonderful way to get into a Power Wagon and still have what's basically a work truck. Because a Tradesman package, that's really what it is. The Tradesman is a working truck. That is a truck for getting a job done, and that's it. My
Right.
phone has
And
a
this-
bigger
this-
screen than the infotainment in a Tradesman does. So,
Right. Well, and this Power Wagon that I have has a lot of upgrades. I mean, it starts at a little over 53,000, but then some of the upgrades include the RAM box, the 12-inch Uconnect screen. It has the Harman Kardon 17 speaker upgrade, and it has the optional package that adds a bunch of driver assist features.
oh,
too.
right. Okay.
So, I mean, I don't remember what the final Monroney was, but I bet it's closer to 65
Yeah.
plus.
They get up there pretty easily, especially when you add the Warren winch and other things that are options. So it comes with a bumper ready to receive that, but it doesn't come with the winch itself. That's usually a dealer option, I think. But yeah, the Power Wagon. I don't think there is a I don't think there's a comparable for heavy-duty off-road capability. Until you get to specialties, when you get to people who build their own special rigs, I don't think there's anything as capable as a Power Wagon. Not even from Jeep, because it's a completely different class of capability.
Yeah, this is a truck for serious truck drivers. People who want all of the bells and whistles, and included on the Power Wagon package, I mean, just standard features: the rear backup, the manual shift on the fly transfer case. It's got I think hill start assist and descent But then from there, if you want to add some more camera angles and some more of the towing packages, you can add those on.
Right, and that is one of the downers with getting the Power Wagon package added to a Tradesman. The Tradesman series, that's the base model for Ram trucks, and they're limited as to what sort of upgrades are available. So a lot of that stuff you cannot get. But you still have Ram's trademark trailering mirrors and all the other things available. And I took it and I went down a hill and up a hill that I've had very few vehicles that can do it. To start with, you have to have a lot of ground clearance. You have to have somewhere close to about 12 inches at the axle. So you have to be somewhere in the area of 12 inches. And then you have to have a really good breakover. That's really what decides it. And I was not able to do that hill in a Jeep Gladiator because the breakover wasn't enough. I was barely able to do it in a Chevy what is that? A Chevy Colorado with the ZR2 package. Just barely enough. I was still bottoming out, but not enough that I was going to high center. I was just scraping. But I could do it in a Wrangler all day with a Rubicon package, and I could do it in the Power Wagon without any qualms or questions. And they could do it in any ATV.
Well, yeah.
So,
I mean, I felt like I was driving a tank.
Yeah.
In some ways. And it's a big, big truck.
It sits very high. I don't remember the details on what the Power Wagon package adds for lift, but it feels pretty substantial. It seems like it's pretty decent. But again, you're starting out with a Ram 2500 model, which already has a lot of wheel-to-well clearance on it. So it may not actually be lifted that much. It just looks more extreme because it's already a three-quarter ton truck.
Right, and it's great for families too because it has on the key fob, you can just press it and the tailgate will open, so it's great for grocery getting. The challenge is that it's really hard to park. It feels very wide, especially with the extra mirrors, the mirrors with memory on the sides. It feels like you're so wide and you have to have plenty of space to park that thing.
That's true of every three-quarter ton truck I can think of, though. Including the Titan XD, which has a very large presence as well. So even in that, which isn't technically a three-quarter ton, once you get to that capability range where you have that heavier frame and usually a little bit more lift and those other things that go with it, you do get that big feel. And then you have to, where I live here in Wyoming, every parking spot is good for a truck with an 8-foot bed and a crew cab, right? Because that's what people drive. But when you get into a place like Austin or Denver or any of that, that's not the case. And I learned that firsthand driving that Chevy Silverado 2500 around Portland, Oregon. Talk about some narrow
I can
squeezes.
Picture it. Yeah.
So,
but it's fun to drive. It's really, really comfortable to drive, and I felt like I was going to roll over people.
Yeah. It gives you that monster truck feeling, too. Truck. And you feel like you can go anywhere. Like, you can be like, the road's ending. Yeah, whatever. No worries.
Whatever, I can handle it in this truck.
That's not that steep of a cliff.
I think the Power Wagon
We're fine.
could be the ultimate summer. This could be the ultimate summer camping truck as well, because you've got the Ram box. You can tow a camper or a boat. You've got plenty of room in the back and in the front, heaters, ventilated seats, the whole package. Mm-hmm. I would definitely take this out on the road.
Either package that you get, so if you buy the full-on Power Wagon, you're getting a lot of upgrades for the interior. You're getting that cool badging, a couple of color options that aren't available otherwise. I think that blue that you have is actually one of those colors, if I remember right. Or you can get the Tradesman package with the Power Wagon added on, save a few bucks, but still have all that same capability. Either way, you're not going wrong.
Nope, it just depends on what you need. If you want all the comfort features all the extras and the badging, you've got to go with the Power Wagon. But if you really just want the work and the capabilities of it, then you can go the Tradesman with the Power Wagon upgrade.
There you go.
Okay, that was our show for today. This is Kristen.
And this has been Aaron. And this was the Drive Mode Show. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us.